everybody. I'm Laura Stone, and I am chair of the advisory committee for the Dartmouth Education Foundation. And we're so pleased to have you all come and be part of this celebration this afternoon. So I'm going to alternate back and forth between glasses, no glasses. So I just want to acknowledge that the DEF is actually a fund of the Community Foundation, and with us today we have Ethan Kehoe, who's Director of Development, and Ethan works at the Community Foundation, and again, the DEF is one of many funds that the Community Foundation manages, so we're lucky to handle all our fiscal and grants management through them. And then the rest of my esteemed colleagues are here, and they, along with myself, review grants, work on the spelling bee, and do all the fundraising and support to be able to offer the teacher grants that we are going to be talking about today. So to my left, Dr. Stephen Witzig, Mary Waite, I said Ethan, and then Rachel Cherrier, Enid Silva, and Dr. Shannon Jenkins. And the folks that are not here in the room right now are Dr. Bob Barsovic, Dr. Ron Bala, Michaela Markey, Chris Pereira, Michael Shea, and Dr. Jonna Souza. So again, we represent a group of volunteers who work on these kinds of things, and we just feel so appreciative that we get to give back and support all of you who are working with the students and with each other to make the Dartmouth Public Schools so awesome. So again, Ethan is representing the Community Foundation, so I also want to acknowledge John Vasconcelos, who's president of the Community Foundation, and Holly Stickles, who's someone that we work closely, who is a grant associate. And then I, of course, want to acknowledge Dr. Bonnie Giffords, your superintendent, and Jim Kiley, business manager. I know there are some other folks in the room. John Nunes, a member of the school committee, Ross Tebow, who's principal here at Dartmouth High School, and if I've missed anyone else, I'm sorry.
Tracy Oliveira is here.
Tracy Oliveira is here as well from administration. So I want to just let you know that we were founded in 2007 to supplement teaching and learning projects in the Dartmouth Public Schools. So we fund somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 annually. This year we had 26 teachers apply for funding. We were able to fund 18, and then we work very closely with Dr. Gifford and with Jim Kiley to make sure that if possible, those other projects can be funded either through the technology budget or in some other way. So we feel badly that we aren't able to fund everything, and we work really hard to be able to puzzle it all together so that we can fund as many as possible. So our funding comes through general donations, and it also comes through sponsorships for the annual spelling bee. And you will see on your tables a flyer for this year's 8th annual spelling bee. It'll occur on Thursday, November 8th. It'll be here back at the high school again. We would love to see you or your colleagues sponsor a team again. We're going to be working on sponsorships so that, of course, the schools and nonprofits in the Dartmouth community do not pay for their teams, but you're a sponsored team. And we want to introduce something that we have just come up with this year, which is early in, early flight. So we've had people ask us, well, if we get our application and register a team early, can we be in one of the earliest flights of the night? And that this year we're going to make that available. So it can't be first flight necessarily, but early in, early flight. So we highly recommend that you get them in. So I'm going to call up folks in no particular order, just the order in which I printed your certificate of award, and ask you to come up, and if you wouldn't mind just saying what the funding will allow you to do in your classroom or with your students this year. So we'll start with Susan Tolson from Dartmouth Middle School.
Thank you very much. This grant with puppets and with stories will allow me to enhance my students' learning in ELA lab, English Language Arts lab at the Dartmouth Middle School. I feel very fortunate. I'll tell a quick story. I saw a few students over the summer, and they said to me, Mrs. Tolson, are we going to be acting again? And I said, yes, we are. And they said, Mrs. Tolson will be able to dance again and learn again. I said, yes, we are. And I had a little student come over to me at Burgo basketball, and he said, I heard a rumor. I said, all right, what's that rumor? He says, I heard there were puppets. And I said, oh my goodness, thank you so much, Dartmouth Education Association and Education Foundation. I really appreciate it so much. Here's why. My kids are going to absolutely love this. And it is going to be so fun. And I'm so glad that the rumor was true, that it came true. I really appreciate it this year. And I don't want to take any more time from my awesome colleagues. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next person is Kathleen DeCampos from Cushman Elementary School.
Thank you. This grant will allow the preschoolers hopefully to be able to sleep during their nap time. The grant is for some whole tone music, which was developed by Michael Terrell, and it's based on ancient traditions and so forth. So if you're interested in looking up whole tone music, it's very, very soothing and very calming, and I'm hoping the preschoolers will sleep through the music now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, and the next award is for Jeff Martin at Dartmouth High School. I just want to note that I believe last year's funding supported the laser engraver, which you will see on the podium here. It's so fabulously made by students in the engineering program.
Yes, thank you very much. So as you know, or maybe you don't know, we received a grant here at Dartmouth High School last year. Dr. Gifford and Tracy Oliveira worked very hard on that, and we received a lot of 3D printers, laser engravers, plasma cutters, et cetera, and in conjunction with that, Z-Space and this beautiful innovation lab we have behind us, I ordered a iPad that has a scanner on it that will be able to scan almost anything, even a human bust, and print it out on our 3D printers. So thank you very much for annually supporting us down in the engineering department at Dartmouth High School. We really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next award is for Carrie DeJesus, DeMello Elementary School.
Good afternoon. My award is going for a Kamishibai Theater, which is an ancient Japanese theater box, and it's for the English language learners over at DeMello. And we'll be using it to really work on our oral language skills and combining them with reading and writing. So it's, I introduced it a couple of years ago with a little cardboard box and homemade cards, and the kids loved it, and they're going to be over the moon that they have a proper, really beautiful wooden Kamishibai theater to work with. Thanks.
The next grant award is for Jamie Guile and Adam Desjardins from Dartmouth Middle School.
Hello. In our engineering class last year, we were able to receive money to get a bandsaw because we're trying to increase the amount of woodworking we're doing with the middle schoolers. And as a result of that, we have a lot more wood lying around. So we requested a wood cart, which we are going to use this money for. And the other thing was metal rulers. We do a lot of measuring, obviously, in engineering, and the wooden rulers do not last very long, so the metal rulers will hopefully last us a few years. So thank you.
The next award is for Monica O'Malley Tavares from Dartmouth Middle School.
First off, thank you so much. So we will be supplementing the blended learning model this year using portable easels. So I teach 6th grade math and science, and the easels will travel with the kids from group to group so that they could present to the entire class They could present to their small group, they could set it aside and save it for another time, but it's definitely going to help the blended learning model. Thank you so much. Thank you, sorry.
Okay, the next award is for Lori, oh, I'm going to destroy this, Dionisio?
Yes, very good.
From the Dartmouth Public Schools overall, and she'll explain.
I put forth this grant as part of the speech and language pathologist in the Dartmouth Public Schools to purchase augmentative and alternative communication apps for our iPads to help our littlest learners who aren't yet speaking or haven't yet developed language, to help them learn and be able to use this technology to find a voice for themselves. Thank you so much.
The next award is for Sam Brodsky, Dartmouth High School.
Hi, thank you so much for this award. It's going to go toward the robotics team. The robotics team is a place that can be an endless hole for money and spending, especially when you have the kids loose on building whatever they want. But this helps us be more competitive when we're up against teams like Needham and Newton and Lincoln, which have kind of unlimited pockets. So thank you so much.
The next award is for Daniel Lefebvre from Dartmouth Middle School.
Thank you guys very much. I'm the literacy coach at the middle school, and one of the wonderful things that I get to do as a literacy coach is go into the English teachers' classrooms and model different lessons. This grant is going to go to help us purchase document cameras for the 7th and 8th grade teachers. We made a lot of progress with our writing last year, and I think by being able to do more modeling with document cameras, we'll be able to push that a little further this year as well. So thank you again very much.
The next person is Alex Bernardo from Dartmouth Middle School.
Thank you very much for this grant. We're actually going to use the money for specifically the 8th grade English team to purchase new document cameras to build off of what Dan has been doing school-wide. It'll be really great. We'll be able to build on 6th and 7th grade strategies that were taught in the past couple of years. Thank you.
The next award is for Sandra Chica and Jen Oliver from Potter Elementary School.
First of all, I want to say thank you for the award. We are going to use the money to buy Osmo kits. The Osmo kits are manipulatives that work along with iPads. Hopefully this is going to expand our STEM activities that we do in the school, so the kids are allowed to manipulate, use the manipulatives with the iPad, so they're not just tapping on the iPad. It actually has a camera that watches what they are putting in front of it and registers on the app, and there are apps that go along with it. Did you want to say something?
We wrote this together and used my class as kind of a go-to because Sandy didn't have a home base. I teach 3rd grade, and it goes from spelling all the way to fractions, so it's preschool straight up to 5th grade that they'll be able to use this. Thanks.
The next grant is for Tracy Lee Chamberlain from Quinn Elementary School.
Hello, and thank you very much for this award. Pretty much ditto, because we also had gotten some Osmo kits for my class. And my extreme joy is going to be watching my little kindergartners get to explore these STEM activities and be able to use them in centers. That's why I wanted multiple of the same kit. So that way we could incorporate our ELA standards and our math standards along with it. So it's going to do a lot of good. Thank you very much.
The next award is for Darlene Blanchette from Quinn Elementary School.
Hi, and thank you very much. I so appreciate this grant. I'm a kindergarten teacher at Quinn, and this grant will allow us to purchase chain reaction kits. So our kindergarten students in Dartmouth will be practicing the engineering process by building and rebuilding chain reaction. So thank you very much.
The next award is for Mary Lynch from Dartmouth Middle School.
Thank you very much. I'm excited. This is the second year that I've been able to receive money to purchase books. And the first year I was able to use it to build my classroom library. I'm a reading specialist at the middle school, and it was wonderful to help engage the students. This year I'm going to use the money for literature circle books, so we can be reading the same book together and the kids can be talking about the book and really sharing the things that they love. So my goal with every reader is to hopefully instill a love of reading, and this makes it so much easier. Thank you very much.
The next award is for Stephanie Kamara, also at Dartmouth Middle School.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the grant. I'm also a reading specialist. Mary and I work together. We work with 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And I do have an extensive library, but this grant allowed me to fill a gap that I have in my library. And I'm ordering over 50 novels in verse to give my students another choice in genre so that they're able to take home books and read at night. Thank you.
The next award is for Kimberly Rio and Elizabeth Dufault from Dartmouth Middle School.
Thank you very much. Last year we started a kindness cafe for some special needs students at Dartmouth Middle School, and we'd like to expand upon it this year. We're going to purchase some rolling carts so students can serve coffee to the second floor and some new coffee crafts. So this will be a great opportunity for our students. Thank you.
The next certificate of award is for Kate Powers from Quinn Elementary School.
Thank you very much. This is my second DEF grant. Last year we were able to buy Lego kits for our STEM club. This year the grant will help us to purchase some breakout kits. If you've never heard of a breakout kit before, it's essentially a portable escape room that you can bring. The kids at Quinn really like the Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library. If you've ever read it, it's about kids that get locked in a library and can't get out until they solve a series of riddles. And they wanted me to lock them in the library. And rather than discuss the legalities of locking them in a library, I figured a breakout kit would be the next best thing. They are so excited. So thank you very much. They are gonna love it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so before I read the final award, I want to say that we would love to have a group photo. So we would ask that everyone come forward, and apparently the next person to receive their award is going to do something fancy, and the camera is going to snap a picture of all of us. So I would ask that everyone that's here, even supporters and folks, in administration. And then I also am going to have Jim Kiley just say a couple of words about how you get your money and access the funds. So the last certificate of award is for Robert Parati, Dartmouth High School.
Thank you so much for the award. It's really going to enhance our program. We're adding a new studio camera to our existing studio, and we're actually going to start broadcasting our morning show, The Tribe, that we did last year weekly. Every Friday, we're actually starting to do broadcast it live. So the kids currently are being trained to broadcast a live studio version of it. So we will now have the announcements live Monday through Thursday with the existing Friday show as well. So a lot of work going into it. So we can't do it. We couldn't do it without this grant, and very appreciative of that. Thank you.
So if I could just ask Jim to come up to the mic for a little bit, just to give you some facts, Jack, about access.
Thank you. I guess first I'd just like to congratulate you all. It sounds like wonderful projects you're going to be working on, and thank you to the DEF for all your hard work to make that possible. So we're going to keep this as simple as possible. We're handling it a little differently than it was done in the past. The monies came from the Community Foundation. Thank you directly to the Dartmouth Public Schools. They've been set up. Each of you have your own distinct grant account. That your main office in the building you primarily work in will be able to access. So you just need to provide a quote to the office in your school. They will do a requisition, just like a normal purchase of anything else that we buy. And then you will receive the goods. Once you receive exactly what you ordered, you will let the office know that you've received everything, and we'll process the payment. So it's as simple as that. And if there's any questions along the way, obviously you can contact my office. Great.
Thanks. And I'll just let folks know, we have had a couple of questions about why we made the decision to do it this way, and I'll just let you know that it's purely an IRS audit requirement. It's something that the Community Foundation has asked of us, and they can no longer provide a check directly to a recipient. The checks actually have to go through a nonprofit or an educational institution. So we're following what the Community Foundation has asked of us, and we're a fund of their organization. So if I could ask everyone to come up, we'll take a group shot, and congratulations again to everyone.